Hey, this is Justin. Is Wednesday morning. So walking, getting some of the ideas that are rattling around inside the head, outside the head, into a place where they can potentially become useful. I've got a bad internet signal here today, so I've been doing live for the last couple of days. But I want to talk about one of my favorite topics, asynchronous voice notes. Um, I've been, the last couple of days, been messing around with Carbon Voice. And whenever I find a new async voice notes tool and able to connect with people there, I get pretty excited. And it started for me with Voxer in 2013, and then Yak around 2021. But I've always wanted a way to be able to turn conversations and like brainstorms into like real things, to be able to kick off workflow from ideas. Our brains. Have thousands of different thoughts. Many are just kind of meaningless, or not necessarily meaningless, but aren't moving us forward or creating any form of productivity. And then some are super impactful and can make a huge difference for us in the long term. And being able to differentiate which is what the challenge is. So a couple of different ways to be able to activate what's meaningful and what's not meaningful is getting the transcriptions, and then also using some of the different AI tools to be able to interrogate the information, or to be able to kind of access the blind spots, or the things that we say that we don't necessarily the things that we say and that we talk about that we don't necessarily remember after the fact when we get back into life. So like my day today is I got to take care of some financial stuff later on today. I've got to get my daughter up and get ready for volleyball. I've got we're doing some family stuff today. So a lot of the things that I talk about during this walk and talk will be forgotten as soon as I'm done with the conversation, but the transcripts will keep those in permanence. And then if we have a way to be able to ask questions of them later, then that's where the stuff can start to become meaningful. So where the asynchronous notes start fitting into it. I was going a little bit nutty here. Let's walk this way. Come on. The asynchronous notes allow me, one, to create a note for myself of voice notes that gets transcribed that I can kick off some workflow with. It's also a note that I can share with another person. Let me just walk towards where we're going here. It's also a note that I can share with another person that can, I'm going to have to just go on pause here in a second. Let me just see, can I do it here? We'll be right back. Working out loud, be right back. Be right back. Ways of working ideas to reality. Be right back. Be right back. Okay, cool. Got it there. Yes. So using the what was I going to say? Yeah. So just being able to access the information later, coming at it from a different angle, right? I'm paying attention to a whole bunch of different things right now. I'm paying attention to paying attention. Yeah, and then paying attention. But later on, when I'm kind of in that processing mode and ready to access the information, that's where it becomes a little bit more useful. So the asynchronous notes, I create notes for myself. They can get uploaded. I can quickly share those out with other human beings, because that's also an important piece, to be able to share notes and to have conversations with other people to get their feedback, right? So you start creating, the second you have a conversation with other people and you're working in the creative space, you start creating, or in a creative mindset, you start accessing the mastermind. I think that's different than from like the logistical mindset of like, hey, we've got to get this thing done, right? We got to get this thing done. And so it's a quick and easy way to start to have do creative work together without dedicating specific time to be able to do it. Right? That's like the big premise here is what I could be doing is, on a walk, I could just be walking my dog. I could be listening to podcasts. I was actually listening to a book a little bit earlier on, or I can be creating things as we're going on the walks. But then some work has to be done on the back end work has to be done on the back end to turn these into actual things, into usable things. And why I'm using Carbon Voice right now is because you can, through Zapier, can start to kick off workflow and get some of the audios into Notion. So the most simplistic workflow to come up with is, taking a note and then putting it someplace else. Taking the audio note and putting it someplace else. That's the most basic and the most simple. And then from there, you can start to kick off other ways of being able to other ways to be able to connect and then turn it into real things on the outside. So I'm kind of struggling a little, not struggling for the words, but struggling for the idea and for being able to create. And actually, I'm working out in my head as I'm speaking through it, sort of some of the different ways to be able to kick off workflows in a meaningful way. So I'm gonna leave this one here for right now, about 6 minutes, and everybody who's listening, have an amazing day, and we'll speak soon.